What up, nerds? My name is Leslie. Welcome to The Nerdy Narrative, a channel where I like to talk about bookish related things in the science fiction, fantasy, and horror genres. The spooky season has finally arrived, and I absolutely couldn't be happier. Halloween is one of my most favorite holidays, even though my parents didn't let me celebrate it as a child. Probably because they didn't want to take me trick-or-treating. I know it's September 30th, and the book that I'm going to discuss with you today was on my Spooktober TBR, but I just couldn't wait any longer to read it. I have seen so many of my friends reading it and enjoying it. I finished a book I was working on. I got a little sideways with my TBR and decided to go with Nightmare by Chad Nicholas instead. I don't regret that decision at all. This is an ARC that was sent to me by the author in exchange for an honest review. It comes out on October 6th. This is the paperback version. There is a gorgeous hardcover edition, and it's also available in the Kindle store for $4. Let's start with the obvious, the physical appearance. And I absolutely love when a cover is cool before you've even read the story, but after you've read the story, you absolutely understand what's going on. On the front, we've got a creepy looking crow. My favorite is the scarecrow on the back. That is one demented looking joker. The chapter pages. They're decorated as well. Literally every page has decoration on it. When a book has an attractive physical appearance, that just already sets the tone for my enjoyment of it. So let's talk a little bit about how this book made me feel and whether or not I enjoyed reading it. All of these thoughts, opinions, and feelings are 100% subjective to me as a person. Please keep that in mind as we continue. My goal is to give you a little bit of information about how it made me feel to determine if it might be something you're interested in picking up. Let's start with trigger warnings. It does contain child abuse, child torture, and animal death. How to carefully tell you about my favorite characters without giving any spoilers. That's rough. I will tell you my absolute favorite thing about Nightmare are characters. Now that should be no surprise. I'm a very character-driven reader. I just absolutely love what Chad Nicholas did with his characters. It's nothing I've ever read before, which was truly wonderful because I started reading this book and I'm like, I see some familiar horror tropes here. I'm pretty sure I know where we're gonna go with this story. And I was wrong at practically every turn. There were a couple of things that happened and I was like, okay, he didn't address this, he didn't clear it up, he didn't even address these common sense things. And I was like writing them down because I'm like, you know, I'm gonna have to provide some constructive feedback on, hey, you need to put a bow on some of these things. You left them undone. And holy smokes, I had to throw that list away because this book was freaking phenomenal. The story, the plot, just, there were some familiar things you would expect to see in a horror book or you've seen done several times. Chad Nicholas put a whole different spin on some of these things. He introduced some new elements that I just thought were stellar. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I thought I was gonna have some things I would say I would change, but no, absolutely not. I wouldn't change a single thing about this book. Mentioning some of the familiar things you would see in a horror novel, there was one occasion where he's hinting at a condition of a main character, and I'm thinking to myself, is this gonna be one where something gets hinted at about a character and it's just left to the reader to wonder the whole rest of the story? No, it was addressed plainly and directly, which I really loved. As far as maybe comparing it to something more well known to see if you would enjoy it, would be The Haunting of Hill House. I actually enjoyed Nightmare more than The Haunting of Hill House. And you're just gonna have to read it to find out for yourself why. There's no vague way to put it without spoiling it, and there is no way I am willing to spoil anything about this story for you. Who should read it? If you love fast-paced, thrilling, heart-pounding horror, this is definitely a book for you. The first time I picked it up, I read a little over 200 pages and I finished binging it the next day. I really enjoyed how it just began with something that was interesting and intriguing and a little bit creepy. It also engaged me mentally. It just really had my gears spinning, trying to figure out what was happening. And of course, you know, I said earlier, I thought I had it figured out. I thought I knew what was gonna happen. And then things would happen that would totally destroy my opinions of what was gonna happen. And so I would have to reform new ones. I'm like, okay, well, let me back up and punt. You know, here's this new information. This is what's gonna happen. So it was absolutely a thrill to just have me spinning my gears constantly, trying to keep up. I loved the pacing, I loved the story, I loved the action. It was just done so well. I do believe this is Chad Nicholas's debut novel, and I am just floored at how awesome it turned out. If I had to find one thing to complain about, my complaint would have to be, I need more of you to read it so you can talk about it with me, because I need to discuss this ending with somebody. When I got to the end this morning, the only person that I knew right away that had finished it was Alex Nieves. I hit him up on Discord and I was like, bro. And so we had fun talking about it a little bit. I need more of you to read it. Come talk to me about it. Because when you enjoy a book this much, you just can't immediately quit thinking about it once you put it down. I would love to talk to more of you about it. So please, if you read this, come back. Hit me up in the comments down below or hit the description box down below and come chat with me on Discord. As of right now, there are 30 ratings on Goodreads for Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. And with those 30 ratings, Goodreads is showing a 3.73 star rating for this book right now. For me personally, it was a solid 4-star read. I sincerely hope to see more from this author. I'll be keeping my eye on this one, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little book chat. I really hope you give this one a chance. It's a spectacular, fast-paced, thrilling read for the month of October. This is one of the books involved in my giveaway for this month. If you would like to get an additional entry in the drawing for the limited edition Disney Funko Pop and the first book in the Nightmareland Chronicles, which is Nightfall by Daniel Barnett, don't forget to drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think of this review. If you like this video, please don't forget to click that thumbs up down below. If this is the sort of content you enjoy, please consider hitting that subscribe button on your way out. Have a fantastic rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you soon.